Good evening, everybody. Hi. Lovely to see you all. Look at all those lovely sunshiny, smiley faces. It's really nice to have you here. Thank you so much for deciding to spend part of your Wednesday evening with me. I'm really, well, afternoon for some of you. I can see some of my US friends. Um, Thank you. Thank you for coming out. I hope that you are going to enjoy tonight. So, I always start every mediumship demonstration with just a little bit of an explanation about how mediumship works. Because if you're like me and you grew up watching Ghost Whisperer and Medium on the TV, Sixth Sense, anything like that, you have that lovely kind of idea that spirit is speaking. And I get it. There's no real way of showing what spirit are doing. So that's the best way that most directors choose to go with. But your loved one in spirit, they are not speaking to me. They are no longer in a physical body. So they are sending me an energy. And my job as a medium is to try and interpret that energy. And the reason why I tell you that is because it seems like a really good plan when you're going to see a medium to set a password with your loved ones in spirit and say, Dad, if you come through tonight, I need you to get Hannah to say purple banana hammock. And if you don't, I'm not going to put my hand up for you. It sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Sounds like a really great idea, except for if they're not speaking. I mean, I probably do have a point of reference in my mind for purple banana hammock, but there are some things that I don't. So I ask you to stay with me, please. You should be looking for the evidence to be true, to be relevant, but not necessarily what you have decided makes good evidence. Does that make sense? Give me a little nod. Good eye. You're all still with me. Phenomenal. Now, the same applies in a demonstration setting for who you are expecting to hear from. If you were having a one-on-one reading, the onus would be more on me to be able to get through the spirit that you expect and want to hear from. But in a demonstration setting, the need is slightly different. It's with the medium as well as with you. So the spirits that work with me this evening are going to be the spirits that find it easiest to blend with me, that I have the most points of reference for in my energy. So I need you to keep an open mind. It might not be who you expect to hear from tonight. Make sense? Good. Now, couple of little housekeeping things. I've got my beautiful friend Pamela helping me tonight, and she's still frantically letting people in who are late to the meeting. So she is adminning for me. Now, between the two of us, there's a lot of you. We're going to try and look, when I try and place the spirit, we're going to try and find you. What I ask that you do, please, is you keep, if you're using your physical hand, I know some of you will use hand up on Zoom, but if you're not au fait with Zoom, and you need to keep your hand in the air, can you keep your hand in the air? Because Pam and I are quick, but that will miss it. So if you can keep it up till we acknowledge you, that would be really, really helpful just for us placing the spirits. You know, it's a big space. I'm used to working in person. It's been a while since I've done a Zoom, so you're going to have to be a little kind to me. I also ask that you please don't DM me during this session. It's really, really disruptive to my energy to have messages coming up on the screen. If you want to interact with me, if the spirit is for you, you're going to need to raise your hand and not just DM me through the chat function. If you are disruptive, you will be removed and you will not be refunded. And I'm going to make that really, really clear from the front. My students, God bless them, did a demonstration the other day in my Elevate group. I know that when you're at home, it feels very different, but I ask you please to sit still. If you start taking us all on a roundabout of your house, it's really disruptive energetically when I can see it all moving and I'm like, what is that on the screen? So you will be removed. If you take yourself off mute, you will be removed. If you do anything else that we deem disruptive, you will be removed. And I know that's really blunt, but it just really helps to set the tone. You will be removed. Yeah. All still with me? Okay, good. It's a funny thing about Zoom. People behave in all sorts of really strange ways that they wouldn't do in real life, but somehow feels acceptable when there's a screen between us. But it can be really bad energetically for me. Apart from that, please keep your focus, your energy with me. I have seen people on Zooms when I've done them, watching TV in the background and stuff like that. More fool them, because you're almost guaranteed you won't be getting a message if you start behaving like that. Makes sense? You're all too scared to do anything right now? Good. That's how I wanted you. Absolutely petrified. That's the energy I like to start my dems with. Everybody just going, oh my God, what the hell is this? It's not normally like this. And then we know we're in for a good time. Okay, I'm just going to move my mind to the spirit world and see who wants to come in and work with us first. Okay, I'm aware of Granddad stepping forward with me. And as I tune into Granddad, I know that he is really, really close to you. So this doesn't feel like an ordinary granddad, grandchild kind of relationship. This feels so much more than that. Now, he is a really lovely, supportive, gentle soul. I don't feel that he's particularly chatty, but I do want to talk about him really. I hate the expression holding space, but I'm going to say the sort of person that would really hold space for you. He'd be the person that you would go to for advice. He'd be the person, he's making me aware that your family itself is quite loud. There's a lot of big characters, there's a lot of chat. He was like your sanctuary. So he would be the person that you would go to. He's outside pottering around the garden, and you would talk to about your problems. You would talk to about the things going on in your life, in your day, and he would really listen. Now, I know that he's got a twinkle in his eye, and I also am aware that he might have had some sort of connection with birds, either keeping birds or really, really obsessional about feeding birds. And that feels really, really important. He's keeping birds. He's definitely keeping birds. I can see cages. I know he's looking after them. So you would have memories of going out to Granddad while he's looking after the birds, and he would be chatting to you. And even though he's pottering around, he'd really be listening to you and really paying attention to what's going on. Now, I want to talk about Granddad just passing. It feels like it's quite sudden. So I know that he is here, and then he's ignoring things going wrong with him, and he moves into the spirit world kind of suddenly. It feels very shocking. Now, I can see Tracy's got her hand up. Pam, is she the only one?
Yes, Hannah, at the moment. Yep.
Okay, good. Tracy, can we get you? Oh, no, we've got two. We've got Jodie Reed as
Oh,
well, and
Jodie.
Lee's the potential. Okay, bear with me then. Let me just get a bit more. I've not been specific enough, have I? Right. I really want to talk about Granddad here. It feels like it's a sudden, shocking passing. I do believe this is to do with his heart. Are you still with me, Jodie? Yes. Okay. Is Tracy still with me? I've lost her off the screen now, Pam.
Tracy, are you still with Hannah? Yes. Yes.
Yes. Oh, flipping heck. Okay. And oh, we're getting more. Right. Let me go through. So, all of you who've got your hands up can take everything I've said. So, we've got a very loud, very vibrant family, a very quiet and relaxed relationship with Granddad. It feels like it's special. You would know you were his special person. He was yours. I want to talk about Granddad keeping birds and taking care of them himself. There'd be big memories. I can smell the smell of the birdie cage. It's nice, but that would be a real memory for you of being with him. I also want to talk about him having a flat cap or something like that that you have, that the family kept or would remember associated with him. He's a really gentle, no nonsense kind of guy. I know that he's joined in spirit by his wife, and I know that she is a chatty lady. So you'll be surprised that he is the one that gets to come in and talk, but she's allowed him in tonight. Special occasion just for tonight. So I want to talk about this lovely relationship between the two of them. I know that they've been married for a long, long time, but I do feel like she wears the trousers and he will just go off by himself, muttering, looking after his birds, doing what he wants to do. There's a lot of love there, but there would have been a tussly kind of eye rolly kind of relationship that I feel is really important to acknowledge. He'd go, yes, dear, and then go off and do whatever he wanted anyway. And she's very much in charge. Have I still got everybody?
You've still got Tracy and Jodie.
Okay, let me just see what else I can get from him. Okay. I want to talk about him. He's got some teeth missing or something going on with his teeth around here. I don't know if they're his teeth or he's got some sort of false teeth or something like that that I need to acknowledge because it feels like he's in some sort of discomfort around here. And as he shows me that as well, I know that he would slip you sweets. So I feel like this is a memory you'd have with him. Like you're not allowed to have a sweet because dinner's coming up, and he would just slip you one and wink and tell you to eat it secretly. And that'll be a real memory of you and him together and him doing that. Still got Jodie.
Still got Tracy.
Right. Let me just see what else he wants to give me. Would you both understand pigeons being kept? I do
Yes,
feel like
Tracy understands.
okay, I'm going to make a roll for this because my energy is really going to Jodie. I can really feel it. It's like, so I'm sorry, Tracy, but I'm just going to have to make an energetic leap here because otherwise we'll be going back and forth all night. Jodie, could you take yourself off mute for me, please?
Thank you, Hannah.
No worries. Do you understand everything I've said?
So much, so much. And as soon as you said pigeons, it was like he used to race pigeons and he kept pigeons. So
okay, good. Because I was like,
huge.
come on, I need something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I know Tracy still had her hand up, but I was like, I need to feel the energy of this to get it going. So this would be Granddad to you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And you understand this there's a really special bond between the two of you.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. And you'd have these memories of going outside with him while he's taking care of the birds, and he'd be asking you about what's been going on with you, and he's a really, really good listener.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And you would understand, obviously, I can see, I don't have to be psychic to see you're a psychic, it's on your name. But you would also understand that you still have that kind of relationship with him where you ask him for advice and he is still listening and just letting you not vent because it's not angry, but just let him. It's almost like you journal your sort of day and your experiences to him because you know he's a really good listener. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%, Hannah.
Good. Okay. So I know that he is still really being very instrumental in your journey and being there for you, but he's really trying to encourage you at the moment. So there's this real energy coming in of I would call it dilly-dallying. I don't know if that translates, but I just mean you're stepping into something and then stepping back and not sure that you're ready. And he's wanting you to, and you keep going, am I? Should I? And there's this real propulsion forward that he's bringing for you of stepping up and out and forward that he wants to acknowledge. Jodie, are you writing a book?
I have.
Okay, good. Because he's just wanting to acknowledge, no, it's not have, it is. Are you thinking of writing another one?
Yes, it's on my mind. It's on my mind.
I feel like it felt like it was being written rather than written. And he was acknowledging that it's, he's there with you, guiding you through that and making you take that step forward to make more things happen. There's this sort of dual energy here of writing your book and getting your book done, but also stepping more up and out that I want to acknowledge for you as well. And it's almost that, can I, should I, am I ready? Am I brave enough? And he's really wanting to let you know, sorry, Jodie, this is obviously his sense of humor, that just like a pigeon, it's time to fly.
Yes. Oh my God, Hannah. Yeah, thank you.
He's really bringing in that energy for you of trying to get you to take that leap and get going. And he wants you to know that because obviously she would like to get a word in here, they really do want you to know that they are backing you all the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you very much. Let's get some simple ones in that can be placed with ease, shall we? That will be my manifestation for the rest of this evening. Okay, I'm aware of Mum stepping forward with me here, and I do believe that Mum passes of cancer. I want to talk about Mum being gone too soon, and it feels like a really devastating. I mean, I know losing your mum would be devastating, but it feels like it's fast. I think mum will have gone undiagnosed for quite some time. There will have been something going on behind the scenes. Maybe she wasn't feeling 100%, but when the cancer diagnosis comes in, it is rapid. It is shocking. She is here and then she moves into spirit so fast it feels like you can barely catch your breath. There would have been very limited options for treatment for mum. I do feel like the dice was rolled. We did try. She tried to stay, but she was unable to. So I want to talk about mum passing within a few months of her cancer diagnosis, and this being a really shocking, big impact on the family. I do feel that mum is young, so I want to talk about her being middle-aged, somewhere around there, probably late middle age if we're being picky, but as I've now reached middle age has moved away, because that was what old people were when I was younger. So I want to talk about her being early 50s, maybe mid 50s, somewhere around that age group. Now, this feels really sudden, really shocking, and really upsetting. And you would understand mum being incredibly, incredibly brave, really putting a brave face on things. She feels like she's got this really warm, kind of big personality that I want to acknowledge here, where she is you, everybody loves her. In the cancer unit, everybody knows her. She's got this real warmth and friendliness. She made friends with all the staff. She made friends with the other people having treatment. She's got this really, really loving, lovely, positive way about her that drew people to her. So you'd have memories of her almost like a celebrity in the hospital, with people popping in to see how she is, people saying hi to her and checking in. And it feels like this, it's her. She's just such a power, such a force. So there's hope. There's this roll of the dice. There's this wish at the beginning. She's very, very positive minded about it. And then there is the sudden advancement, the sudden loss, and the passing itself being very, very shocking. I think we're mid-treatment. We are not expecting this passing to come, and it feels very, very rapid. So there's treatment. There is she's going through the process, she's trying to stay, and then there is this sudden and shocking passing out of the blue. It feels like it's out of the blue. Now, I do know that even though it's out of the blue, you did get to say goodbye to mum, because she's wanting to acknowledge here you holding her hand and you talking to her. And I know that when she's just taking her last breaths here, you would have leant in and spoken to her and told her that you loved her. And you would have been crying when you did that, and she couldn't reply. And I need you to know that she is replying now. She's replied every moment since, but she's really wanting to acknowledge the answer to the I love you too. And she's really wanting to bring that energy in. You would have mum's, I think you've got both her wedding and her engagement ring, or at least two rings of hers that I'm feeling going onto my finger, not just one, that I need to acknowledge. Now, I do know that you have siblings, but I do feel like you are the one that is the responsible one in the family, the one that takes charge, the one that kind of keeps everybody else going, because I need to acknowledge the fact that you had to sort of organize and rally everybody when your mum passes, even though you were deep in your grief. So you would have been the one contacting and making the funeral arrangements, even though I think your dad is still here, but it feels like it's you that gets things organized. It's you that gets things done. Who am I with, please? Who recognizes mum here?
Marina.
Hi. Hi, Marina. Could you take yourself off mute, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Marina, my lovely.
Hello.
Hello. Do you understand everything I've said? Yeah? Okay. Okay. So you understand mum going through this treatment and really being so brave.
It was a 3-year period. She's done even a bone marrow transplant, She was recovering. She was. They said everything should be fine. And around November, cancer came back very aggressively, and by the 1st of February, she died.
Okay.
I had a sibling, I had a sister that died when she was 3, so I am the only one.
The only one.
And before she died, the day before she died, I went and saw her. She couldn't speak, and I thought that I did hold her hand and I did say I love her. She couldn't reply. And yes, my
Okay.
father is here with me, helping
Okay.
me with my daughters.
Okay. Let me just lean into mum then. And you've got the rings as well, because that feels very
Yes,
important to her. Yeah,
the
okay.
wedding ring and the engagement ring.
Okay, good,
Oh,
good. Okay. Have you laid flowers for your mum recently, Marina? Have you done something in memory of her? No. Okay, let me
no,
just
I've just been thinking of her and giving things to other people in her memories.
Okay. Do you understand there being a rose in memory of your mum, a connection with a rose?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Bear with me one sec. Just stay with us for a second, Marina. Is there anybody else that would understand everything I've said? Because I do feel like Spirit normally would give me something that would cement it at this point.
We've got Lynn putting her hand up.
Okay. Bear with me, Marina, because I will get your mum through and we will work on it. But I just want to make sure I'm with the right person for this bit. If you just bear with me. Lynn, could you take yourself off mute, please?
Hi there.
Hi, Lynn. How you doing?
Hi. I could take about 75% of everything that you said. I didn't get a chance to say I love you at the end.
Okay.
But the majority of it, yes. And I could take the rose.
Okay, you can take the
That's very
rose.
significant, yeah.
Okay.
And
No,
she did die when she was 52, if it helps.
okay, thanks, Marina. No, thank you, Lynn, but it needs to be everything. I can't budge on any of it. So I've got a mum here who passes of cancer. It feels like it's very
Yeah.
rapid, feels like it's very sudden. I feel that she does have some treatment, but it would escalate. We think she's going through treatment, and then all of a sudden, she's moved into the spirit world. It feels very, very
Yeah.
sudden, very, very shocking, like the rug is pulled out from under you. I need to acknowledge here this speaking to mum and not sure if she can hear you, and she certainly can't respond. And this I love you into her ear is really, really, really important. But I am also seeing a connection with roses, and I cannot shift the rose. So there would also be some sort of connection with a rose in memory of her. That is really, really important. Okay. I can see
We've got James Smith.
James.
Yep.
Hi, James.
Sorry, that's my husband's name. My name's Claire. I forgot
All
to
right.
check.
Hi, Claire. You never know, so it's better to check. Hi, Claire.
The only bit that I'm unsure of is my mum's age. She was slightly older than that. She was early
Slightly
60s.
older. Okay, but you understand everything else.
Yeah, and in terms of the rose, we've got my mum's name written in a book of remembrance at the crematorium, and there's a rose next to it, like drawn in.
Okay. Good, because I knew the rose was really, really important. Okay. Do you understand? I can accept getting the age slightly wrong. And obviously, Marina, I will come back to you in a minute. I've just popped you on mute, love, because it's quite noisy in your background. So Claire, let me just move into this. So you would understand mum getting diagnosed quite late.
Yeah.
It feels and they tried to do treatment, but it feels like we're all trying to be positive, but then there is this it escalates or it speeds up and it's all very shocking.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. And you understand this personality of mum, because I've got to talk about, she is like a ray of sunshine, isn't she? And she is proud of that. So I need to talk about her here. You understand her like a mini celebrity at the hospital. Like people loved her, and she knew what was going on. She had the gossip on everybody and what was going on. And you would go in, and she'd be like, "That person over there's got this happening with them, and then this, and
and
it's like a
been here, and that doctor's been there, and that person's
yeah."
had a visitor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mini soap opera. She's
Yeah.
keeping tabs on everybody, and then she'd fill you in with all of the details when you
Yeah.
go to see her. And you understand this being really important to her, that she didn't want to just be her illness. She kind of wanted to keep her spark and her personality, you understand? Even when she's struggling, she would try and make jokes, and she would try really hard to be this positive, strong-minded person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She wouldn't tell us she was struggling.
Excellent, good. I also need to talk about colour with your mum. Did you all wear colour for her funeral? It feels like it's bright.
No, lots of
No.
flowers, but we didn't wear
Bright flowers, was it? I feel like I want to talk about bright colours at her funeral. Okay, let me get something more from her that she... When she was laid to rest, do you understand there being letters put in with her? People wrote notes to her.
I think there was one, but people did
Okay.
put things in.
Yes, okay. So there was a letter that was put in with her when she was laid to rest. Yes, okay, good. Because she's just wanting to acknowledge that it's like she's got a little... It's like the Egyptians that used to lay their loved ones to rest with loads of stuff. It's like she's gone with loads of trinkets and things and memories
She had
and
a
love.
book and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Good, good. Do you have a necklace in memory of your mum?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. I'm glad you're wearing it. You did well there, Claire. That just makes me feel even more impressive. Let me just see what she wants to say to you then. Okay. There's such a love coming in from your mum. She is not backwards about coming forwards with emotion and feeling, is she, your mum? She would tell you how she felt, and you would hear every technicolor part of how she felt and how she was feeling. So there's this acknowledgement here of huge amounts of love, huge amounts of pride that I need to acknowledge for you. There is also would you understand her sending a baby to someone here? Did somebody ask her for a baby?
We had a baby born in the family about 3 weeks after she passed.
Okay,
There
good.
was
Because
one
she was
coming.
good. Okay, because she was just wanting to acknowledge. You said there's one coming.
No, there was. The baby's
There
here
was.
now.
Okay, good. Right. Because she's just wanting to acknowledge again being a part of that and being there for it and seeing it. No, I can't. She's very straight talking when she wants to be your mum. She won't let me off with stuff. There may also be something to do with child loss that she's wanting to acknowledge, and I don't want to do that in a public forum. But I just feel like there's something to do with her looking after as well that I need to acknowledge.
Okay.
And that feels important for her to say. Let me just see what else she wants to bring in. It feels like for you, life has been quite hectic. I feel like you're sort of pulled in many, many different directions at the moment, here, there, and everywhere, trying to get organised. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to get easier or better or anything like that. I just want to tell you that your mum is loving it. She's laughing at you being here, there, and everywhere, and all this hecticness and all this, and she's just like, go, live, be, do, and stop telling yourself that you can't achieve all the things that you want to do. She really wants you to I think you're very, very hard on yourself, Claire, and she's really bringing in this kind of energy of you can do way more. It's only the voice in your head that tells you can't achieve the things you want to. Everything else is lining up for you. So there's definitely this feeling of pushing you forward, taking that leap, but you're more than capable of managing all of the resources, all of the things that you need to do, all of the plates that you need to spin. You just need to believe in yourself. You're always telling yourself you can't do it, but you are managing to keep them all spinning. And she just wants you to give yourself a break from the internal dialogue.
Thank you.
Huge amount of love there for you. Thank you. Right, Marina, let me come back to you and let's just loop around to your mum, because they're obviously on a very similar frequency with their energy, and this is obviously how it's going to be this evening for me. Yay.
Yes.
So let me just see what she is wanting to say. Okay, Marina, you would understand with mum, she's got quite a firecracker of a personality. So I feel like she could be quite opinionated when she wanted to be. Do you understand this?
Not quite. She was more like the kindest person I ever knew, the person
Oh,
that would accept absolutely everything.
okay. Don't tell me
She
too
wouldn't
much.
even argue. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
okay. Don't tell me to. Okay, well, I must have someone else coming in then. So get in a row, spirit. Let me try and get hold of your mum then, Marina, because I've got a lady with a. See, they're all just lining up with the. She's not backwards about coming forwards. Let me do my best for you. Okay. Your mum a big feeder, Marina? Did she like to give people lots of food to take care of them, cook for
Yes,
people? Yes, okay.
always.
Always good, because I feel like that's where she's bring. And she would be very worried that people hadn't had enough to eat. Like if you saw her, she'd be worried that you weren't eating properly.
That would be my nan.
Your nan, okay, well, the ladies in your family do not know how to behave, so they're just going to have to come in as one, or we'll be here all night. Let me just see what they are wanting to bring in here. With, the ring, you've got a ring too, yes? Yes. Was your ring connected to both your mum and your nan? Have you got one that's been passed down from your nan through your mum to you?
My mom passed the rings, and my nan gave me her jewelry as well.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not sure if there's a ring, but there are earrings and necklace. And I do
Okay.
have a necklace with my mom's picture on it, with regards to what you said earlier.
Okay. Let me just see what these ladies want to say to you then, if they're going to come in together. Okay. There is this, it's like the warmth of coming home is the energy that they're bringing in together, of like wrapping you up in love, wrapping you up in being cared for. It's nurturing. It's like you're a little baby, Marina, and they want to just pick you up and smooch you and look after you and take care of you and hug you. And there's a real feeling of looking after you coming in here, a real feeling of yeah, if they could protect you from it all. I think you're going through it at the moment. And if they could protect you from it all, they would. So you have to do it for them. You have to look after yourself. You have to wrap yourself up. You have to nurture yourself and stop giving everything you've got to everybody else, because you're like your mum, you're very kind, you're very giving. And you have to remember to keep some for you. So there is this kind of, they need you to do it for them. If they could, they'd be visiting you from the spirit world and basically tucking you into bed, I think, and just looking after you and cooking for you and loving you and kissing you and taking care. And so what they need you to do is you need to do that for them. You need to be taking care of yourself and not pushing yourself so hard. And if you need to say no, Marina, and you need to take some time for you, then that is what you should be doing with no guilt. Does that make sense? Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you very much for bearing with me. Unusual work tonight. So thank you, Marina.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Right, I've got this really opinionated lady right here. I'm just going to have a little drink. And I need to really acknowledge this lady is what I would call spicy. Although I do believe if you're a young person, that has a different meaning now. So my kids are always telling me, but it's my version of spicy, which means full of opinions, full of energy. She'd tell you what you want. She'd tell you what she thought, whether you asked her or not. But if you asked her, you've got no one to blame but yourself. So she feels like a grandma to me. And as I'm aware of her, I know that sometimes she could cause hurt or upset with her words, but it wasn't intentional. She never wanted to upset anybody. She just was very straight talking, real tough nut. I want to talk about her having a really difficult childhood. I want to talk about it being really, really tough. I do feel like there wasn't enough to eat. I do feel like she was one of many. And so she feels like one of the older children. So she would have brought up her siblings in this very difficult, very tough time. I want to talk about her being sent out to work when she was very young. I want to talk about her being responsible for, I mean, I'm talking 10 siblings minimum here. There's a huge amount. It's like her mother has given birth to a small army over many, many years. And there is this, she's like a diamond. She is tough, unbreakable, steadfast, and opinionated, and she will tell it straight. Now, I want to talk about her. She is quite elderly when she moves into the spirit world. So she lasts a very long time. And I need to talk about her defying some sort of odds because she's really proud of that. Like, people thought she was going to pop her clogs in her 80s and she didn't. And just because they thought that, she kept going an extra 10 years. So she's in her 90s. She's really quite elderly, and she has sustained herself just on nobody tells her what to do. Absolutely nobody. And she's really, really proud of that. Now, I know that she lives alone, and I need to talk here about her. There may be her needing some sort of help or going into some sort of assisted living for the really latter part of her life, but she's very, very proud that she lives alone for quite a long period of time, longer than everybody expects. But I do know that she kind of relies on the family, even though she'd never have admitted it, to take care of her, bring her shopping, check in with her, look after her. Now, I know when I go into she's chatty, so I can't get the evidence from her in the order that I would like in comfort because she talks so quickly. It comes to, I'm getting 15 bits at once, but there would be a connection with her with slippers. I think you would have bought her slippers, and there would be this, her little paddy feet making a little scrapey noise as she walks around in her slippers is something that you'd really associate with her. She may also have had a stick or a Zimmer frame, some sort of walking aid. I'm going to have to pause because that's so much information. Who am I with? Who can understand this lady, please?
Not seen a hand yet, Hannah.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
Anna. Anna's got a hand
Oh.
up. There we go. Just in time, Anna.
Hi. So I can take elderly 80s. I can take the fact that she had multiple siblings, like total of 7, but 2 passed, so only 5. I can take that she was the one who had to go out and she pretty much took care of everybody.
Okay.
I cannot take the fact that I cannot take the walker part. I can take the slippers shuffling. That is something
shuffling,
that's very,
okay.
very, and then I can take the type of personality, like bossy, speaks her mind. I can also take partially so she was living alone for a while, but not always. So there's a space. So it's not like a end of life. So she was not in a facility at the end. So I cannot take that.
Right. If she's is she in her late 80s when she passes? Because I do feel like she's very, very elderly,
80,
this lady.
Like she was 83.
Okay.
83.
I'm not sure I'm with you, Anna, because I felt like there were a lot more siblings. 5 isn't going to cut it for me. This feels like a whole gang. So just thank you very much for trying. Bear with me one sec. So I'm just going to go through the evidence, see if I've got something wrong. I want to talk about this really, really opinionated grandmother lady. I need to talk about her being a real tough nut. She tells it straight. I know that she could upset people with the way that she told it straight. I want to talk about her being very, very elderly when she moves into the spirit world, because this thing about her living longer than everyone expects is really, really important to her. She's really, really proud of it. I want to talk about her. There would be a connection. I think you would have bought her slippers and you would understand that she loves wearing her slippers and she's shuffling around. It's a very, very like shuffly, elderly kind of walk. I'm hearing the scuffy noise. When my daughter walks like that, I tell her to pick her feet up. So it's that kind of noise that you can hear. I know that she's had a tough life and a life in, I think she would have gone out and done some sort of housekeeping or cleaning or something like that. I want to talk about tough hands, tough fingers. There's pain in her fingers from all of the scrubbing and the cleaning and the doing. And I know that she was also responsible for her siblings. So I know that she's one of the older ones and she would have looked after the baby. She's very, very capable. Is that ringing a bell with anybody yet? Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Could you take yourself off mute, please? There you go. Is there something I've got wrong for you, Andrea?
I'm just not sure how many siblings she had. I know she came from a big family. She certainly was very opinionated.
Scarily so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing about is the siblings. The rest of it sounds very much like my mother's mother.
Okay, fabulous. Okay. I'm just going to make you take the siblings because I just feel like it's like a little troop. There's loads of them. And I just need to acknowledge that. And there would have been quite an age gap because I feel like she's what I would call a child, but she's looking after a baby. So there must have been, at least 10, 12 years between her and the baby because she's having to do all of the work and she's having to be like an adult in her childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you understand this this pride and this defiance about living longer than everybody expects, because this feels really important to her. Like she is proud of herself. She moves into the spirit world kind of like she achieved, like she's run a marathon. She's like, see, I will tell you when I go, and this is when I'm going to go. Okay. And you would understand that even at her passing, she was, she didn't give in. So there feels like there's this rallying and then we're getting ready for her to go. Nope, she's going to be rallying and she just won't give in to it. Do you understand that?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that going on. Yeah.
Yeah, because it feels like it has to be her way or the highway. She is determined. Even in her last moments, she is still the one in control. And you would understand that opinionated nature with her remains right up until the day she leaves the earth plane, because I feel like even when people are trying to help her and look after her, she's not a particularly good patient. Would you understand that?
Oh yeah.
And you guys are like, oh, please don't say that. Oh, you said it in front of them. And she is who she is. No apologies. Okay.
Yep.
And Andrea, do you have some of her china?
I have one of her dishes, yes.
Good. Okay, I knew I was seeing it there. Fantastic. You better look after that.
I am.
Yeah, she's you chip that and she will come back from the spirit world and get you. Because that's the kind of lady she is. Okay. She's lovely, but she's my kind of lady. I love an opinionated, feisty, straight talking woman. Let me just see what she wants to say to you. Okay, I'm hearing Frank Sinatra my way, and there is definitely this energy coming in with you of doing things your way, and a real sort of push from spirit. Everyone's getting pushed from spirit tonight. This real push of the reason why it hasn't sat with you quite right is because you've been trying to do it the way it's always been done or keep other people happy. And there's this breaking free that's coming where you are just going to do things completely differently. Your practice is about to completely shift. Your energy and the energy that you're bringing and you're teaching is about to skyrocket. And there's this real sort of release of old programs, old ways, it no longer suits you. It no longer works for you. And a very, very exciting creative energy of movement and shift and propulsion forward that is completely unlike anything else. And she is the one to come in and give this to you because that's exactly how she lived her life. She didn't do things the way that everybody wanted to. And it was a hard life at the beginning. And she did have to be tough, but she never let that stop her. She only let that push herself forward. There's a determination that she brings for you. Don't be afraid maybe be afraid to speak your truth the way she spoke her truth, because that's a little scary.
Yeah,
But
I don't think I could be like that.
no, but some sort of more gentle version of her. There's plenty of scope for that. Where you do things the way that you want to is really the energy that she's bringing in. I feel like you're rewriting something, you're shifting it. It's going to be completely different, and she is very, very excited and cheering you on.
Oh, thanks, Graham.
Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you, Hannah.
No worries. Okay, let me see who is coming forward. I've got Dad stepping forward with me here now. And there's a real sense. Okay. I think Dad is in a wheelchair. And I want to talk about him being in spirit young. So this is somebody who's in a wheelchair and moves into the spirit world young. I don't think he makes middle age, but there's a real sense of okay, the way that he's working with me is that he's really wanting to show, and I can't make sense of it, so hopefully this will make sense for one of you, but he's showing me like children climbing on him when he's in a wheelchair. So if I've got the relationship wrong, because logically I don't think we've got any small children in here, it would be for somebody that would understand this. So I feel that Dad is the dad part of him is really, really important. So he's definitely a dad. And I definitely want to talk about some sort of communication issues. So he's not able to communicate the way that he would want to. And it's frustrations. I'm not sure if he's locked in or there's something going on where he's not able to speak easily or freely. But I still want to talk about his children seeing him as dad and climbing onto his lap. Okay. Oh, Tamsin. Hi, Tamsin. Hi.
Hi.
Does that make sense to you?
Obviously, husband, not dad, but it makes
Dad.
absolute complete enough sense with all the kids climbing on him. And
it's like he's become like he loves it. But I was to say that he's become a climbing frame.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So I don't want to offend you, but like he loves it because he wants to be, because he's still. So you would understand him not being able to communicate. I obviously know some of your husband's story, but he's not able to communicate. Would you understand that? But you know him well enough to know that he's loving that, because it feels like he loves being the climbing frame. He loves having the children on him, and he loves being involved as much as he was. And there is a real there's a real gratitude for you in that, because if not only for you taking care of him and looking after him, you would have cared for him. Do you understand this, Tamsin? But also for letting those things happen, not keeping him like an ornament. He's got quite a sense of humour. It's like he doesn't want to be a dusty ornament on the side. You still involved him in stuff. Even though there is this shocking transition from so you would understand able-bodied and then shocking transition into this. Okay. And there is it's so frustrating for him. It's so devastating for all of you, I know, but he's just wanting to acknowledge still being in there and how much he loved being able to laugh with the kids and still be involved and still see things. Okay, now there's a real feeling of leaving things unfinished, but I don't feel this is his passing. I feel like this is the accident or what happened to him, where there is this kind of, I'll get around to these things. I'll sort these things out. We'll go on holiday. We'll go to that place one day. We'll do this thing one day. We'll get that thing one day. And then this frustration of not only the situation, but also all of those things. Because he's kind of, but did you understand you have to be quite laissez-faire, Tamsin? Like, he'll get around to it. It'll be all right. Like, you chill out. Don't you, oh, and like kind of bantsy with it. So not horrible, but like, oh, don't nag at me. I'll get around to it. And then, of course, he can't. And so he's sort of there realizing what he's left you with, and he's just wanting to acknowledge not only the physical stuff for him, but the jobs that he said he'd get around to and didn't, the things that he was going to do, and an acknowledge. And he must have had a really good sense of humor, because he's saying, yeah, you were right, but he's laughing about it, like, yeah, you were right, yeah, you better tell her that, from the spirit world. And he's bringing that energy in now. There's a few things that he wants to say to you. Number one, he wants you to know that it was good for him. He's wanting you to know that I think there's a real, obviously I know what happened to your husband because you told me. So I have to own that, but it's like he's wanting you to know that it wasn't like you worry it was. He wants you to know that it was actually quite peaceful for him. And it's like he's wanting you to put that down, because there's this, it's like it replays all your worries about how it could have been, and you think about it. And for him, it's like the relief of falling asleep when you're exhausted. That's how he shows it to me. So there is this real, he needs you to know that. He needs you to know that your worst nightmares are not what he experienced. What he experienced was relief and gentleness and feeling like he was being tucked in. He's wanting you to know that he wishes he's made more effort to let you know how much he loved you and how special you were. He just always had this thought that he was going to have more time and be able to do all those grand gestures and those things later. And he's wanting to acknowledge, he's wanting to acknowledge that love with you and that being with you and that still being there. Have you got his watch to give to one of the kids?
Not his watch.
Okay. Would it be something that went round a wrist?
No, I've got his ring.
You've got his ring. Okay. No. Something with a wrist that he's showing me. I've really got a feeling of something. Okay. I can't change it, so I've got to try and work out what it is. There is this, it's like something's gone on around my wrist. That's the only way I can describe it. And it's like he's really trying to acknowledge something going on there. Okay, I'm getting in the way. Let me find something else for you. Have you got a star for him? Or you point to a star for the kids when the kids were little? Do you understand a star in the sky and showing them? No. No. Okay.
No, not a star in the sky, no.
Right. Let me get a hold of him properly then, because I don't seem to have my ducks in a row this evening. Feeling, going back to the climbing frame, going into this relief, this feeling of falling asleep. I can see it there. It's so much easier. There's still something to do with guilt, and it's not just to do with his passing, but also to do with choices that you had to make. That he's also wanting to acknowledge, like, you did enough or you did plenty. There's something there about you being like stretched too thin and pulled in so many directions, but you also are like, but if I hadn't done that, or if I could have done this, and feeling guilty for it. And there's another bit of guilt there that he's wanting you to put down. I'm still, he just tried to get the watch energy back in again. It's just come, I don't know. I'm just seeing a clock face. I don't know what he's trying to get through me, but I can see it. It feels important. You didn't have a clock stop. You don't understand why he's showing me a stop clock.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Because the only thing is that my daughter and I found a pocket watch yesterday. It wasn't his, but we found it and it was stopped. But we literally yesterday randomly found.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take that, Tamsin, because he was really like, I was like, I'm going to build my power and get something new for you. And he was like, watch again. And I was like, what? Okay, he's obviously trying to let you know that he's around and seeing stuff. I was like, give me a break, mate. Okay, let me, blimey neck.
I had to rate the no, yes, maybe.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oh no, boo, hiss. Let me, yeah, there's definitely, okay, good. Let me just see. There is a breathtaking admiration for you, and not just in what you've achieved with the children and looking after the children and being with the children, but also in your self progression and the work that you've done on yourself, and the way that you've really made a choice to turn your upset and your difficulties, and you really want to help other people. That there is this incredible kind of awe, and I don't think he was the kind of man that would have been in awe of very much, but there's this kind of feeling of he just wants you to know how amazing you are, and what a great job you're doing. And you know you're a good mum, you know you are, but there's this real feeling of him wanting to validate that for you. So these are the things that are important to him. He wants you to know he's around. He wants you to know that he sees you, and he wants you to know that he is so incredibly grateful to you for all you did for him, how strong you were, and how strong and wonderful you have been for the kids. Thank you. Oh, thank you for breaking the yes, no, maybe, don't know, but never do it in a group, because I'll really tell you off.
I'm
Bless
sorry.
you. No, you're fine. Thank you very much. I was like, oh my God, now I'll watch again. Sometimes you've got to throw a medium a bone on occasion. Right, I'm going to do one more. I'm going to try and do a really super quick one for you all. Let me just see who else can come in with me this evening. Okay, I have got Grandma and Granddad stepping in together, and that is very much indicative of their relationship. These are little peas in a pod. I want to talk about there feels like they're really routine driven. So these two would have lived in the same house forever. I think they are in the house that, and I do feel like this is Dad's parents, that Dad was I'm just going to turn that video off because it's moving, that Dad was brought up in. So they're in your dad's childhood home, and I know that they have got this big this routine where they are just doing everything by the clock. If it's a certain time, they are doing it. If it's this time, they do that. They have dinner really early, as I know elderly people do. And don't worry, I'm going to get more specific. Are you all right, Pam? Did you just try and say something to
me? Tracy's got her hand up.
Okay, bear with me, Tracy. I'm still getting evidence, so I'll let you know in a sec. So I need to talk about them having this routine that is really, really, really they're stuck to it like glue. And I want to talk about them. They don't go on holiday. They don't travel. Their house is their world. Their home is their world. So it's Gran Nan that I'm talking to here. But you would understand Granddad sort of being there. They've been together since they were teenagers. They've been together a long, long time. And I want to talk about him moving into spirit quite some time before Grand. So I do feel like she does about a decade without him. So I know that he moves into spirit and then she carries on without him. And there's this kind of like she's really devastated because he's her entire world. But I do want to talk about there being conversation had, like it's lucky she was the one that kept going, because he wouldn't have been able to do anything without her. He wouldn't have been able to cook. He was a kept man. It's a very traditional role. So there would have been conversation had about how it's lucky because he wouldn't even known how to turn the oven on. There's that kind of, or how to do a load of washing. Bear with me, Tracy. I can see you with your hand up. You're doing the right thing, but I just want to make sure I'm going to get one more bit because I don't feel like I've been very specific. So I just want to get a little bit more. So we've got these grandparents here. We've got this long, long, long relationship. We've got a very neat and tidy regimental garden that everything is just so, and everything is very clean and crisp and well taken care of. Their home is their castle. They've got this little house that they've been in for years and years and years. This is Dad's parents. So Dad would have been brought up in this house. I don't feel like they decorated it. It's like the land that time forgot. Everything stays the same. I want to talk about them being together a long, long time. And they're really set in their ways. But these are loving and lovely people. So they're set in their ways, but they're kind with it. I know that they always eat dinner at the table. And I do feel like this dinner is very early. And that's how they like things to do. And I know that I've got a thing about clocks tonight, but I need to talk about, it's not just the time. I can hear I think they've got an unusual or very loud clock that I can hear. Tracy, are you still with me for all of that? Look at her. She's waiting. She's desperate. She's getting in there. Well done, Tracy. Let me get you unmuted. Hello, Tracy. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you would understand this to be Gran and Granddad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you understand they've been together a really, really long time.
Very, very long time.
Yeah. And do you understand this like obsessional routine that they've got that they can't adjust for anything? Yeah. They're like, oh, you've invited me to a wedding. Oh, I don't know, because, dinner's at 4. And there's this real, okay, good. That feels really, really important. And did they have some sort of very loud or unusual clock?
Yeah, it's a grandfather clock.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So I need to talk about, and you understand them, like, they like everything just so. They're in that house, they eat their dinner at the table, they're very just in this routine. And did Nan outlive Granddad by about a decade?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I will say that unfortunately my granddad died unfortunately in hospital, and my nan outlived him.
Yeah. Okay, let me just see then what they want to bring in. Your nan had lots of ornaments and trinkets all around her living room. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
And you've got one of them?
No.
No? Are you sure, Tracy? Are you sure?
Yeah.
She's very okay. There's some sort of connection between you and a figurine. That she is quite. Was there one that she wanted you to? Did someone take it, Tracy? Do you understand why she's really showing me this figurine here for you?
I understand. Maybe because my family didn't even tell me that he was gone, so I don't know about the figurine.
Okay, right. Because she won't budge on it, and I know that I've got her there, and I know I'm getting evidence from her, and there is something that she wanted you to have, and would you have loved a little it's like a lady or a girl in a dress? Would you have loved that when you were little? Do you know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
I have got a baby porcelain doll downstairs, if that's what she's on about.
Okay, would that be connected to her?
No.
Okay. No, I feel like this is something that is connected to her that she's wanting to acknowledge here.
Okay.
So because there's this feeling of it, her giving it to you, her giving it to
Okay.
you, and she's not budging on that. I'd like to make it fit so I can make myself look better, but sometimes we've got to be true to the spirit and what they're bringing. Okay. There is, I think you've been having a bit of a SH1T time at the moment, Tracy, and it
Yeah.
feels like you're struggling with your health and your wellness and how you're feeling. And
Yeah.
there is just this real feeling from them of, okay, stick to a routine. Look after yourself. Make sure you're having your dinner at the right time. Make sure you're taking your meds at the right. They're bringing in their routine for you. It's hilarious. So there's this kind of, if you want to feel better, you've got to make sure that you are, sticking to your routine and doing everything the way that they would have done it if they'd had a rule. So
Yeah.
they're kind of bringing that in, making sure you get enough sleep. And I know that sounds really boring. But there is a sense of just getting you back on your feet and getting you well so that you can start to enjoy stuff again. And your gran is absolutely insistent that the way to do that is to get you in a really good routine. So she's sticking with it. So you better do it, Tracy, because
Okay.
they'll come and get you. You know what spirit are like, but she's watching. But there is definitely this feeling of don't get sidetracked. Take your stuff at the right time. Make sure you're really looking after yourself and feeding your body and taking care of yourself, and know that they are bringing, and you've asked them for healing. You've asked your spirit team for healing, and they are absolutely bringing it. So just work through that. Take some time, take some care, and things will get brighter and better for you.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Right, there we go, guys. As always, I ask Spirit for a nice, easy night where everything goes smoothly, and it's always absolute chaos. So, thank you all very much for spending the evening with me. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that I will see you at another one, and I will catch up with you all again soon. Take care, everyone.